The red sands blew against the plexiglass walls of the dome colony. Within, rows of hydroponic plants grew in nutrient-rich mist, fed by the colony's sophisticated life support systems. Ava checked the monitors, ensuring optimum conditions for the soybeans, lettuces, and grain crops that would sustain the small population through another Martian winter. As chief environmental technician, it was her job to maintain the delicate balance between the domesticated atmosphere within and the hostile desert outside. She took pride in nurturing this oasis amid the rust-colored wastes. Without her skilled management, the colonists would perish. A knocking at the door pulled her from her work. "Come in," she said, swiveling her chair. The door swished open to reveal Brennan, the colony's security chief. He was a large, muscle-bound man more suited to Earth's heavier gravity. But despite his size, he moved with a cat-like grace born of his martial arts training. "I need your expertise, Ava," he said without preamble. "One of the monitoring stations went dark. Could be a malfunction, but I want to cover all angles. Think you can take a look?" She stood, grabbing her toolkit. "I'm your girl. Better safe than sorry out here." They sealed their suits and exited through the airlock. Brennan's rover sat waiting, heater already warming the cabin for their return trip. The monitoring station lay a few clicks to the north, nestled in a boulder-strewn canyon where solar panels could tap the maximum sunlight. The ride passed in comfortable silence. Brennan focused on navigating the treacherous terrain while Ava studied readings from the wayward station on her tablet. All seemed normal until a sharp drop-off 30 minutes prior. She frowned. No signs of impact or pressure drop. "My money's on a glitch in the system." Brennan nodded as he steered expertly amongst the rocks. "Hope you're right, but I've got a feeling in my gut, you know." She knew. Out here hundreds of millions of miles from Earth, intuition could mean the difference between life and a lonely death. Better to check and find nothing than ignore a hunch. They arrived at the station to find it eerily dark and silent against the ruddy backdrop. Brennan pulled up cautiously and killed the engine. "I'll go take a look. Watch my six, okay?" Her nod was lost in her bulky helmet, but she patted his arm in acknowledgement before he disembarked. She scanned their surroundings as he moved deliberately towards the structure. All seemed still, but the billowing dust limited visibility. Suddenly, Brennan froze, then gestured frantically. "Ava! Something's moving out there!" She squinted into the murk, heart pounding. Then she saw it. A shimmering, bipedal shape emerged from behind a boulder, too tall and lithe to be human. It carried a rifle nearly as large as itself, clad head to toe in armor that mimicked the natural colors. Brennan slowly backed towards her, hands open and empty at his sides. "Please, we mean you no harm. We just want to understand." The creature halted, regarding them with an invisible stare behind its tinted faceplate. Ava opened a comm channel. "This is the Martian colony Aurora. We come in peace. We just want to check our station and leave. Can you understand me?" Static was her only reply. She tried again in simpler tones. "Friends, we help. You help?" The creature tilted its head as if pondering her poorly worded request. Finally, it raised one arm in a gesture she chose to interpret as permission. Brennan looked to her for guidance and she nodded slowly. They approached the station cautiously under its watchful gaze. Inside, they found the system intact but offline, as if deliberately shut down. Ava booted it up with a few commands while Brennan scanned for clues. "Nothing damaged," he remarked. "Who is this guy? Where'd he come from?" Before she could respond, her radio crackled to life. "Colony Aurora, this is Command. We have an incoming transmission from an unidentified vessel in high Martian orbit. They claim to have explorers on the surface and request permission to land. What is your status?" Ava and Brennan exchanged shocked looks before she replied. "Command, we have made contact with one of their explorers here. He permitted us access to our station with no harm done. Advise incoming vessel, we grant permission to land, but recommend caution. Repeat, permission granted for landing." She lowered the radio, excitement bubbling within despite the unknown risks. Intelligent life on Mars. First contact with another spacefaring civilization, here in the red wilderness that had swallowed so many dreams. History was unfolding before them. Brennan grasped her shoulder, smiling beneath his visor. "Well, girl, looks like your hunch paid off. I knew things were too quiet out here. You just revolutionized our understanding of the universe." She smiled back, heart swelling with wonder and primal joy. At last they were not alone. Whatever challenges this meeting of worlds might bring, the seed of friendship and cooperation had taken root this day. And where there is life, there is hope. The Martian orbited high above, waiting for approval to descend. Ava stared up at the massive vessel, so smoothly curved and seamless, its makers seemed as adept at engineering as at exploration. Brennan hailed their colony. "Command, the Martians have permission and are beginning landing procedures. I'd suggest locking down non-essential systems as a precaution until we learn their intentions." "Copy that, Security Chief. Keep us apprised of developments. Everyone else is to remain in safety zones until further notice. Aurora out." Their own defender loomed on the horizon, curious but cautious in the presence of the visitor. "I wish to parley with your kin," Ava said to it. "Will you accompany us and ensure a peaceful meeting?" The creature inclined its head as if considering her request. After a long, silent moment, it gestured for them to follow. Brennan took point while Ava watched their rear as they trod the winding path towards the landing site. She marveled at how the defender could track their every movement despite its obscured faceplate. Its senses must far surpass human capabilities. The Martian touched down with barely a whisper, alighting on pads that extended to cushion its bulk. Ramps descended from hatches that glided open, revealing silhouettes within. Ava's hands shook with excitement and nerves as she sized up her first encounter with true extraterrestrials. Would they understand each other? Did their desires align or conflict? So much rested on this pivotal meeting. The defender halted them a safe distance away. Two figures emerged and drifted lazily down the ramp, weightless in the planet's whisper-thin air. Their biosuits took on a silvery sheen in the fading sunlight. Behind gleaming faceplates, lidless eyes swiveled to survey the landscape. One gestured, and a chiming voice floated from hidden speakers in an amalgam of familiar and unfamiliar sounds. "We come in peace, terrestrial kindred. I am Kayla, and this is Vesh. Our explorer Gath reported your gift of trust. Let us build upon that foundation with candor and goodwill." Brennan stepped forward as leader of security. "I am Brennan, this is Ava. We welcome you to Aurora Colony. Your people and your explorer have our gratitude for foregoing hostility. How may we establish safe coexistence and cooperation?" "With open hands and open hearts, as your Ava suggested," came Kella's lyrical reply. "Our surveys show rich deposits that may aid both our species if mined judiciously as allies, not adversaries. Shall we discuss terms over a sharing of nourishments?" Brennan glanced at Ava, who nodded eagerly. This was infinitely better than the scenarios she had feared. "We would be honored. Please follow us back to the colony. Gath, you are welcome as well." The defender stood motionless until an unseen signal released it to trail behind at a respectful distance. Ava matched her pace to the Martian's flowing glide, curious about their anatomy beneath the shrouding tech. Brennan summarized colony defenses and resources as they walked. Within the dome, citizens cautiously observed from cover as the procession passed. Command awaited them near the greenhouse where Ava worked. A lone colonist emerged bearing platters of dried fruits, nuts, and vitamin supplements, the hardiest fare able to withstand transport. The Martians extended mesh-covered appendages to sample the offerings, conveying reactions only through posture and inflection. "Generous and hardy. You have thrived where others would perish," Kella observed. "Tell us of how you came to be here and what drives your endeavor in this hostile terrain." Brennan launched into Aurora's history as the party settled around the laden table. Born of vision and grit rather than conquest or greed, the colonists sought to prove mankind's tenacity and forge new opportunities through agricultural self-sufficiency off-world. Hard years lay behind them, but the community flourished through cooperation instead of competition. Ava listened intently, eyes roaming between Kayla's fluid gestures and Gath's looming watchfulness. Some innate sensitivity seemed to allow the defender to interpret nuance even through its shroud. When Brennan finished his account, She eagerly posed questions of her own. Your people clearly mastered challenges we have not. What world birthed your civilization? And what motivated you to venture so far? You must have learned much to thrive where no human dared. Kayla spread its hands, a gesture of openness. Our home is a water world thrice the size of yours, orbiting a blue giant star. For eons, we navigated oceans rich in life, yet fragile, taught by elders to safeguard the bounty for all. When calamity threatened to overwhelm natural balances, some proposed dominion through mastery of physics. Others saw a gentler path, to cultivate understanding across disparate peoples and transcend scarcity through generosity. Ava hung on every evocative word, imagining oceans richer than any dream. What wonders must such guardians have unlocked in biological and social sciences to survive so harmoniously within such constraint? Her people had so much yet to learn. Brennan leaned forward eagerly, but Command raised a cautioning hand. Forgive my interruption, but night falls swiftly and we have much to discuss. Might we continue our exchange under more hospitable conditions come dawn? Kella inclined its head. Gladly. Your hospitality thus far renews my hope for conciliation across all divides. We shall remain within our vessel until welcomed again. It rose in a fluid motion. Sleep well, kindred. May light return bearing wisdom for our shared future. As the Martians glided back to their ship, Ava's heart swelled with promise. At last they were part of something vaster, nurturers of life linked across the stars. With openness and goodwill, what heights might their union achieve? She drifted to sleep, dreaming of beneficent guardianship over cosmic seas unbound by any single world. The deep mysteries were only beginning. Ava awoke with the rising sun to fresh fallen snow dusting the colony dome. Winter's fierce embrace had come swiftly to the ruddy plains. She dressed quickly and headed to the kitchen garden to check systems. Within, rows of dangling hydroponic plants thrived under augmented lights as nutrient mist whispered through the air. All appeared in order, for the moment. With dropping temperatures outside, maintaining the fragile ecological balance required utmost vigilance. As she ran diagnostics, an alert blared from the greenhouse entry. Pressure in the outer corridor had plummeted overnight, triggering emergency seals to isolate potential leaks. Her heart raced as she pulled up the security feed. Through the frosted glass pane, a hulking shape loomed amid drifting snow. Not human, nor Martian in form. It pawed methodically at the barricade, searching for weakness with uncanny intuition. Ava gasped and triggered the alarm. Within moments, Brennan and the colony's security team converged, weapons primed. Through the comm, Command's voice carried an edge of controlled panic. Environmental, what is going on out there? Ava found her words. Unknown life form attempting to breach the greenhouse isolation chamber. It's massive and showing concerning intelligence. Request immediate backup from our new allies. As if in response, the thrum of powerful engines resounded across the plains. The Martian ship emerged like a pale dawn, angling its bulk protectively before the colony entrance. Ramps descended, and Kella glided out, flanked by Vesh and a squad of sleek combatants. Kella hailed the colony. We observed the disturbance and came with haste. Analyzing, that creature does not originate from any recorded sphere. Its biomolecular structure resembles nothing evolved for this environment. Approach with caution, friends. Its nature may not be peaceful, Brennan acknowledged grimly. Understood. We'll stand ready to engage non-lethally if it proves hostile. Anything you can do to drive it off safely would aid us greatly. As the Martians scanned the anomaly with senses far keener than human, it resumed battering the barricade with single-minded purpose. Ava feared it would breach the chamber at any moment. Then Kella raised a hand. Focus disruption beams to disorient without harm. We must deter it without escalating danger to yourselves. Twin rays lanced from the ship, caressing the creature with frequencies that made Ava's skin crawl. It shrieked, a mind-rending sound that sent shivers through her. Yet it did not flee, battering on ever more fervently, as if driven to complete some inscrutable directive. Brennan's voice was taut with strain. It's not working. We need to take it down. Non-lethally, if possible. On my mark, now. Stun nets fired from the security team brought the monster crashing to the frozen ground in a twitching heap. It lay there, form writhing sickeningly, as if straining against constraints beyond its control. Kella signaled the ship, which deployed repulsor beams to lift the quivering mass aboard. "We will analyze and attempt communication. Prepare your defenses. If this is a vanguard, more may follow. For now, fortify your boundary and trust in our vigilance." The colony worked through that grim day, securing hatches, reinforcing sensors, stockpiling munitions, just in case. By nightfall, no further incursions materialized. Brennan gave the all-clear so citizens could rest, though unease still gnawed within. Ava joined command and security, reviewing endless data and speculation, searching for clues as to why that monstrosity attacked. Nothing in its biology resembled natural evolution, yet its purpose remained obscure. Had some malign intelligence sent it to sabotage the fragile community? Or was it a misguided tool of powers beyond comprehension? At dawn, Kella requested an urgent meeting. Upon the Martian ship, they beheld wonders, automated microdrones dissecting the creature cell by cell under shielded biolabs. View screens relayed mind-boggling insights into its artificial nature and programming, goals implanted without reason or mercy. Kella's voice carried sorrowful conviction. "We have confirmed this aberrant form could only be manufactured through technologies vastly beyond our allied sciences. Some agency seeks to undermine stability, perhaps to assert dominion. But over what domain and to what nefarious ends we cannot fathom." A chill ran through Ava, unlike any Martian winter. She grasped Brennan's arm for reassurance. "So we are not alone in the universe, but there are others who would see us fail or fall. What can mere colonies hope to do against powers that reshape life itself so callously?" Brennan met her gaze steadily. "We persevere together through unity and ingenuity, as we have since first setting foot on this world. With open hands and hearts, we will overcome whatever dark forces conspire against our future." Kayla glided closer, laying a gentle limb upon Ava's shoulder. "Your spirit gives me renewed conviction, Terran friend. You have faced deeper trials than most could comprehend and emerged wiser, kinder. Though the days to come may test our resolve, if we stand as one, no malevolence can prevail." Ava straightened, taking comfort in their solidarity. One small step and another, together they would walk the path until all beings knew the justice of compassion. Whatever shadows loomed, their light would shine on. In the months that followed, colonies across the Red Plains strengthened mutual defenses through cooperative industry. Settlements shared resources, scientific insights, and artistic works, whilst Martian fleets maintained vigilant patrol. A network of listening posts scanned the heavens for any approach, ready to relay early warnings. Though no further incursions materialized, an underlying current of unease permeated every aspect of life. Citizens worked ceaselessly, bolstering hydroponic nurseries, manufacturing munitions, engineering crafts both martial and delicate. Between chores, parents told tales of wonders seen to distract children's fears, yet worries lingered in even the most joyous eyes. Ava did her part monitoring systems, helping harvest bumper crops to stockpile against future uncertainties. At night, she pored over complex equations contributed by allied scientists, striving to comprehend exotic technologies and what advantages they portended. Progress was steady yet strewn with setbacks. The mysteries of an advanced civilization did not yield their secrets easily. Most evenings, she joined Brennan in command, reviewing security strategy by the glow of simulated hearths. Occasionally, Kella and Vesh added nuanced perspectives from ages of maritime vigilance. Their wisdom calmed the soul while sharpening the mind's edge. It was on one such tranquil gathering that alarms shattered the quiet. Ava bolted upright as harried texts confirmed nightmares made real. An unidentified vessel had dropped camouflage in high orbit, launching probes towards the surface with inexorable momentum. "Intercept trajectory," Brennan snapped, battle-hardened calm masking fury within. Alert craft scrambled from hidden silos even as command coordinated allied defenses through tight beam lasers. Martian destroyers englobed the colony in an iridescent energy dome projected from their prows, shields primed against unknown energies. The probes dove through atmosphere ablaze, yet met refusal in that glimmering veil. Multispectral countermeasures lanced from drones, disrupting control signals, detonating warheads safely aside. Shrapnel rained harmlessly against shields as the sundered machines plummeted into restless seas. For an anguished minute, all held breaths, hoping no fragments penetrated that blessed protection. Then scanners showed the falling curtain was intact, payload nullified without harm to habitats below. Cheers and embraces of relief echoed through colony chambers at the demonstration of unity and strength. Yet gloom lingered in Kayla's posture as sensors analyzed wreckage for insights. These machines were crafted through techniques unfamiliar, their foe controls realms we can barely imagine. We must devise new stratagems to counter stealth and psychological ploys, not weapons alone. Heavy words, yet Ava derived hope even from fear's confirmation. So long as they faced the dark together, solutions would emerge. Days passed without reprisal as analysts pored over salvage components, inferring intent and fabrication through biophysical signs imperceptible to humans. Then Brennan summoned them gravely to the reactor maintenance bay. Within lay an excavation team in medically induced calm, trauma lurking in bruised flesh and haunted eyes. Their foreman rasps a harrowing account. On routine inspection of an irrigation tunnel, they breached into a hidden vault carved by non-human implements. Machines toiled there ceaselessly amid noxious fumes, laboring over some incomprehensible agenda. An attempt to communicate was met with bursts of blinding light and agonizing sensations that overpowered even augmented bodies. Only their armored suits preserved fragile minds and lives. Now scanners detected strange energies emanating from that foul place, scrambling all sensing modalities within radius. Kayla sighed, a sound of infinite sorrow. I feared this day would come. Our ancient records spoke of a menace haunting the edge of known space, devouring all within reach through subtler means than war. Its very nature defies definition. Contemplating its motives corrupts reason. We must deny it further influence here through whatever means remain viable. Their Martian allies sedated all within infection range, then set drones tunneling explosives towards the hidden layer under real-time guidance. Ava watched through blurring tears, hoping this violation might be undone without costing innocent lives. Then a muffled crump shook dust from rafters, and it was over. In the aftermath, crews purified tainted soils and restored stability. Not a trace of the interlopers' work remained. Its secrets took with them to whatever dark realm birthed such aberrations. A bittersweet victory, yet one whose necessity none could deny. That night, Ava wandered the settlement perimeter lost in turmoil, hoping the chill breeze might clear her mind. A gentle chime jolted her from reverie. Kayla stood silently regarding the tempest above with her. I grieve with you, friend Ava, for the losses this ordeal has borne to body, spirit, and innocence. Yet in standing together against the formless, we foster hope where once was only fear. Our works, however small, accumulate to shield future generations from like evils. This I believe. Tears spilled unbidden down Ava's cheeks. How do you find such strength amid such dark unknowns? Kayla enfolded her carefully in a flowing limb. Through remembering all whom we strive to protect, and in each act of compassion renewing our shared humanity. Now come, there is solace to be found in warmth and community on this long night. Ava clung to that solace, trusting that through vigilance and unity of purpose, their light would prevail over whatever shadows yet loomed on the edge of things. Seasons drifted past as the colonies flourished under constant watch. Allied scientists pooled insights to cultivate hardier grains, more nutrient-dense algae, oxygenating mosses capable of revitalizing even Mars's acidic regolith. Robust communities blossomed where once lone outposts clung to fragile domination over an indifferent terrain. The Red Plains transformed under civil engineering. Solar reflectors awakened each dawn to melt frost and release moisture trapped eons deep. Aqueducts channeled this bounty into hydroponic terraces cascading from the coastal cliffs, fed by desalination plants drinking from ancient seas. Satellite mirrors harvested light unfiltered by Earth's atmosphere, while orbital mirrors warmed ecosystems during frigid nights. Under shimmering force field domes, entire biomes emerged. Evergreen forests shared soil with wheat fields and fruit orchards. Streams meandered past pastures dotted with alien grazing creatures derived through terraformation. Colonists walked unsuited amid verdant glades, breathing unprocessed air mingling scents of pine and honeysuckle. Their children roamed free, thriving on native foods with robust immune systems. Monitoring stations spread across the fringes like an electronic spider silk, scanning the deep vacuum for approaching tech signatures. Martian interceptors patrolled the system continuously, primed to engage any vessels breaching the recognized sphere of coexistence. Within this expanding haven, knowledge and culture flowered unimpeded. Artists, philosophers, and scientists of distinct species mingled freely, nurturing understanding through works transcending barriers innate or artificial. It was amid one such cultural festival that command summoned Ava and Brennan urgently to the central ops chamber. Alarms echoed dimly through celebration groves, now distant memory. Monitors displayed an anomaly never before observed, a colossal portal materializing in wild space, disgorging an armada of craft streaming towards inner planets on unknown vectors. Initiate highest alert, scramble all defense fleets in ready groundside shelters. Command snapped, composure wavering beneath professional veneer. Martian commanders assured solidarity even as emergency protocols activated throughout settled zones, shielding fragile progress beneath armored plates rising silently from regolith. In tense hours that followed, little could be discerned of the invaders through dense electronic countermeasures, shrouding drives and weapon signatures. Their hulls absorbed all scans, deflecting laser interrogation without visible alteration. Only uncertain vectors hinted at intentions unfathomable. When the lead vessel diverted course directly towards the primary colony dome, Ava's heart stopped in dread certainty. She clutched Brennan's hand until metallic, focusing on his steady pulse and breathing to quiet her own panic. Around them, screens displayed the incoming juggernaut looming impossibly vast, swallowing stars in its shadow. At the perimeter, shields flared auroral defiance against annihilating energies that spilled from the Colossus in modulated cascades, testing weaknesses through continuous adaptation. Allied fleets engaged hit-and-fade maneuvers, harrying sensors to confound targeting, yet inflicting no harm against that armor. Within the umbrella of united defense, billions clung to hope and duty. Then the invader paused bombardment, hailing on all wavelengths in an incongruous, lyrical tongue. The translation flowed flawless, yet eerie. "Gracious citizens, we greet you in peace and contrition. Our advance was miscommunication. We thought only machines haunted these regions. Please, open channels that we may remedy harm through earnest converse." Kella glided onto the command dais, stance radiating disbelief and calculation. "Vessel, you say? That which disgorged your armada through extra-dimensional portals, bringing technologies impossible through linear evolution? Explain at once your nature and motives, or withdraw while you retain the option." Laughter chimed from speakers, devoid of malice yet suffused with ages beyond comprehension. "Ah, your guardedness does you credit, stellar kindred. Know that we evolved eons ere this cosmos emerged from formlessness, dwelling amid realms where matter bows to will and dimension folds upon itself. We watch all realms lest aberrations imperil the pattern. When wormholes within your domain opened unanticipated, signaling intrusions bending reality itself for inscrutable designs, we acted to seal the breach ere corruption could spread. But finding intelligence instead of mechanisms, we petitioned Converse to understand this surprise and ensure harmony holds sway eternally." Ava trembled, grasping the incomprehensible. Beings who reshaped reality on whims, calling even the laws of physics servants, and their criteria for peace or strife equally beyond mortal ken. Yet through Kayla's statesmanship, a glimmer of hope emerged, where only fear and impotence reigned before. With care and patience, common ground was found. The Watchers vowed non-interference within the developing sphere's natural evolution, so long as no faction imperiled surrounding realms through conquest or contamination. In exchange, developing civilizations accepted aids freely offered to bolster comprehending the weave of existence and defend themselves should aberrations return. Thereafter, the colonies knew periods of unparalleled learning, creativity, and bounty as esoteric insights reshape perceptions of what sciences, arts, and philosophies might achieve working in harmony. Under nurturing patronage, reality itself seemed less resistant to betterment. As generations passed, outpost families grew into planetary nations at ease within a living biosphere. The Red World healed from eons of desolation through cooperation across differences innate or circumstantial. Though shadows might arise again at the edge of things, united they would stand vigilant and meet whatever challenges in a spirit of openness, justice, and compassion. In time, even Ava and Brennan greeted old age surrounded by thriving communities, content and duties fulfilled. As Ava drifted into eternal dreams, holding her beloved's hand, her last thoughts were of the eternal dance between order and chaos, and grateful for the light that guided their steps through darkness towards understanding. Somewhere beyond all knowing, the pattern endured.